Welcome to the September 11th meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown. We will start today with a moment of silence, thinking of September 11th, 2001. And now, if you will join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing the national anthem, and repeating the four-way test. I pledge allegiance to the flag just a minute. I'm going to get you some music here. And now, if you will repeat with me the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And will it be beneficial for all concerned?
And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you. And today our invocation is given by Becky Robbins.
Let us pray, each in our own faith. Lord of peace, on this anniversary of September 11th, we lift up the souls who perished or became ill or disabled on that day. Comfort them, their families, and friends. Help us to mourn alongside them with a constant compassion. May we look to the first responders that day to inspire us to live bravely and courageously and to selflessly protect others in need. May we remember that we were created to help someone else, be a blessing, to lift and encourage those who are down, to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Help us to keep eyes open for the causes and the people you bring us to serve and bless. May the anniversary of 9/11 spark our passions about how to make the world a better place. It may be to volunteer at a shelter, to mentor a young person, to do repairs for elderly neighbors, and to support great organizations in their projects such as Rotary. Amen.
Thank you very much, Becky. And now I welcome our Vice President Kirk Young to announce our visiting Rotarians and guests.
Thanks, Ruth. All right, we have a few guests and visiting Rotarians with us today, so we want to go ahead and welcome them. We have first Linda Johnson, who's here as a guest with Christine Melville. Thank you. We have Jen Swan-Luce, who's here with Max Eimiller. Jen's back there in the back. Kenneth O'Maro, who's here with Becky Robbins. Nice to see you again. We have a couple visiting Rotarians. We have Dan Dunn and Phyllis Dunn, who are visiting us from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Back there in the back. Thank you. Welcome.
And they let me know they're actually visiting from 2 of the 4 Rotaries in Westchester, Pennsylvania. One is an AM person and one's a mothership person. So we can relate to that. So now I would like to call up Kirk Young to assist with today's new member induction and the welcoming of a transferring member.
All right. So thank you, Ruth, again. So fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to welcome into membership in our club, Jennifer Harper, who, yes, please, applause. Her name was proposed by Ruth Lundeen. This proposal has been reviewed in accordance with our club's bylaws. This time I'd like to invite Jennifer to join us up front. That up front is just fine. All right. So Jennifer, we now proceed to admit you into membership in the Rotary Club of Jamestown, New York, and to the fellowship of 32,000 plus Rotarians throughout the world. I'm sorry, Rotary clubs throughout the world, 32,000. In your orientation, you've learned that the ideal of Rotary is service to others, and that our principal motto is service above self. The primary objective of our club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal. We're confident that you will share in this effort. Now, you've been approved for membership in our club because we believe that you are an outstanding representation of your vocation, who subscribes to the ideals of Rotary, and who is willing to do your share in translating these ideals into effective action. You've agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club, to obey our Constitution and bylaws, and to be actively engaged as a member of our club. You've also learned about our specific committees, projects, and other aspects of our club's culture during your orientation, and we're eager for you to put your gifts and talents to work alongside all of us, your fellow Rotarians. So at this time, I'd like to invite Irene Dobies, your sponsor, to please come forward. You have the opportunity to pin the Rotary pin. There it is. Yes, so we have here the Rotary emblem. We also present you with your membership plaque, which is here as well, which we hope you'll display with pride. All right. All right, so we would like to officially welcome you as a member of our club. Please join in applause. And I'd also like to invite you to take a minute or two to share a little bit about yourself and what it was that drew you to Rotary. Here you go.
Thank you. I think the thing that drew me the most was how I spent a number of years after growing up in learning about service, enjoying service, not doing much, just getting caught up in other things, and realizing after a while that it just wasn't doing it for me. It gets boring. It was unfulfilling. And so George, my husband, started attending, and I thought, oh, that's nice. That's his thing, and I'll listen and I'll hear about it. But he kept talking about it, and I thought, wow, that's really cool, because that's exactly what I want to be doing, and with people, with nice people who are also committed to that, to this. And so here I am. Thank you.
And Jennifer, you actually were born and raised in this area before you and George went and had careers elsewhere. So we're really excited to have you back here. Thank you. Yes, and so now I'd like to call up Randy Kerman. Randy is a transfer from the Bremalea Club in Canada, and we would like to welcome you. And he was a member there since 1988, and he held like 15 different responsibilities, right? Something like that. Anyhow, it was a small club. So we welcome Randy back here. He has been in retail and financial advising of businesses and individuals, and he's now the owner of the Oaks B&B and Spiritual Center. Randy's wife is also interested in joining Rotary. So anyhow, I wanted to give Randy an opportunity to introduce himself to you. And he and Jennifer and George are also interested in forming a Rotaract club, which is for people in their 20s and 30s. So
what can I say? Yes, my wife is interested. I was talking to her on the way here, and she said, am I a member already? I said, no, you have to wait till you come back down. So mid-October, she's still in Canada, which I will be back up there in a couple of weeks as well. So I just want to say thank you. Transferring Rotary clubs is new to Rotary. It hasn't always been allowed, and it's I figured it was a cancellation in the start, but they've been very generous. I got involved in Rotary. He was talking a little bit about that. I was in my 20s, and I believed my parents always taught me about providing service to the community. And I decided to give back to the community in which I was earning my living at that time. And I stayed there, a member, for 35 years. And yes, I held every position, including some things at the district level, which I will not do again. Thank you very much. Rotary has given me so much. If you take a look, and we can all do this, no matter where we are today, if you look back at your path of if certain things didn't happen, where would you have been? And I have to thank, he won't hear this, but Jack Boniface for asking me to come and speak at the Rotary Club. And 2 weeks later, proposed me as a member to that Rotary Club and to the members of the Bramalea Rotary Club. All the help and advice that they've given me over the years. And I hope I want to provide service and get to know Jamestown and everyone in this club as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I need to get behind here so I can put down my notes. So for announcements, we were very saddened this past week to lose Lee Magnuson after a very swift illness. We are comforted knowing that as a minister, he was at peace with the passing from this life to the next. And I want to thank all who helped him in his final days, because many Rotarians reached out to him, and especially to Walt and Nancy Pickett, who were there almost all the time. So let's have a moment of silence for Lee. We are hoping to have a official launch of the books and bibs on Wednesday, September 13th. Melissa, is that thumbs up? 10 o'clock, September 13th at WCA. You want to make more about that? Anyhow, if anybody wants more information, Melissa's here she can tell you. While we're on the subject of Melissa Myers, she's also one of the plein air artists at the Roger Tory Peterson Institute coming up the 13th through the 16th, so that you can go there and watch the artists at work. So it's a wonderful program. The board of directors will meet 8 a.m. on Friday at JCC, and Kirk will give us more information so we aren't aimlessly walking around on Friday morning. But anyhow, we're really excited to be able to be guests at JCC for our board meeting this Friday at 8 a.m. It'll also be by Zoom, but I encourage people to attend. So we will be discussing at the meeting the vacancy left by Lee, who was a board member. So if anyone is interested in serving on the board or in nominating someone to serve on the board, please contact me. All right, I wanted to touch on just one Rotary District event coming up. There are several of them in your program, and I encourage you to look at those. But the Magnificent Membership Zoom is September 25th, and they're going to be talking about all the things that different clubs in District 7090 are doing to invigorate their membership. And as you know, the membership improvement, membership enrichment measure, improving the interaction and investment of our members is a #1 priority of mine. So I would encourage anyone who thinks that this is something of interest to them. It should be of interest to everybody, and to sign on and listen and come up with ideas of how we can involve our membership more. Do any other committee chairs have any announcements?
I have announcements, Ruth.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm happy to announce that we are getting organized with the Youth Services Committee, and we've been asked by the district to host our inbound students, all 10 of them, in November. So we got a little work to do, which is good. We have been a little slow the last couple of years. I'm happy to get started. I sent out an email to all the current board member or current committee members that I have, but if you didn't get it or you want more information, please let me know. We'll be meeting on Thursday, September 21st at 5 p.m. via Zoom. I'll be sending out the Zoom link a little closer to the date. And we're going to use that time to talk about recruitment and interviews, as well as planning. I'm going to really need your assistance and the assistance of the club in planning that overnight for the inbound so that we can entertain them while they're here. Also, one more thing, I need a driver. Joaquin will be going to Niagara Falls on Saturday for the orientation for the inbound students. I need someone to take him either to Fredonia, hopefully, or all the way to Niagara Falls on Saturday morning. He needs to be there by 10 a.m. The Yaggies will be picking him up and bringing him home. So if you think you can do that, or at least drive to Fredonia, if you could either, you can give me a call, or my number is in the online, or you can email me or just let somebody know and we'll do that. So we need to get him there by 10 a.m. to Niagara Falls on Saturday. So that's my announcement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Thanks for all you do for the internet, for this student exchange and student services. Okay, at this time, I would like to welcome George Harper. Does that name sound familiar? With today's birthday table.
Thank you, Ruth. Joni is not with us today, obviously. She is in Maine. And so I am here to do the birthdays. My first time. If I slaughter your name, I'm sorry. Please let me know how to correctly pronounce your name. And so September is actually a pretty good month for births in our club. And every time it's someone's birthday, we encourage individuals to give to the Rotary International Foundation. And a day like today is an obvious reminder of what good we can do in the world by giving to the Rotary Foundation, because promoting peace in the world is a key objective of Rotary International. And if we need motivation to promote peace in the world, September 11th will always be a reminder of why we want to promote peace in the world. And so hopefully all of us in this club are able to and willing to give a donation to the Rotary International Foundation. Your birth month, whatever amount, and hopefully many, if not most of us, will become Paul Harris sustaining members and give every year. And so, as I said, we have a number of birthdays. So let's begin. Kathy Birch is the first of our birthday individuals this month. Kathy's birthday is on September 4th. So she had a Labor Day birthday. Hope it was enjoyable for two reasons. Kathy is the Chief Financial Officer of the Gebby Foundation, and she came to our club, excuse me. Joni gave me a big packet of papers. She came to our club in 2018, and Tori Ergang was her sponsor. Kathy is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club, and she's also the foundation. It's not written down here. Thank you. That piece is missing. Stacy Hannon, who is also with us today, is next in line. Stacy's birthday was on September 7th. As we all know, Stacy is the publisher and owner of the Jamestown Gazette, now publishing every other week. If you're interested in a job doing sales, maybe we'll get back to every week. Stacy is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. Stacy has done a number of things that I know were written down. Yes, club president, 2009 to 2010. And I'm sure there was something else. Rookies. You just can't play rookies right away. So happy birthday, Stacy. Is Lori Brocklebank online? Nope. Lori's birthday is September 10th, yesterday. Lori is the area manager of ERG and has been a member of our club since 2002, again, brought to us by Tori Ergang. So happy birthday to Lori. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. Everyone's college affiliations. See? Rookies. Randy Sweeney online. Okay. Randy's birthday is also September 10th, yesterday. Randy is retired as the former executive director of the Chautauqua Regional Community Foundation. Randy has been a member since 1999. He came to the club by Spud Erickson, brought to the club by Spud Erickson. The first of two new members this month. Not new members this month. New members who have birthdays this month. Sean Jones, whose birthday is September 13th. Sean works for, it's not written down. Okay, UPMC Chautauqua. There we go. Sean was brought to us by Chris Anderson, who should know what Sean's doing. And this is Sean's first year as a member of our club. Happy birthday, Sean. Past President John Healy. Online? No. John's birthday is September 14th. John is the Assistant Director of the Builders Exchange of the Southern Tier and American Digital Services, located in Falconer. John has been a member of the club since 2016. It was brought to us by Vince Horrigan. There he is. Happy birthday, John. Michelle Jones, are you online? It's going to be easy to pick a winner for the lunch. Michelle Jones' birthday is September 18th. Michelle is the area manager and vice president of Northwest here in Jamestown. She is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. Some of the others are as well. I just forgot to mention that part. Michelle came to us in 2013, and she was brought to us by someone else who has a birthday this month, Lisa Yegi. Happy birthday, Michelle. Bill Larson. Okay. Bill's birthday is September 24th. Bill is retired. He was in advertising for his career. He is now retired. He has been a member since 1955. Wow. Okay, since 1955. He is a past president. He was brought to us to this club by Harold Griffith. Happy birthday to Bill. We have 3 birthdays near the end of the month, September 29th. One of those birthdays is Sue Jones. Happy birthday, Sue. And I'll tell you something special in just a few minutes. Sue is retired. She was with BPU in communications. She is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club. She came to us in the year 2000. She's a past president, a 4-time Paul Harris Fellow. And she also brought to the club by Spud Erickson. Happy birthday, Sue. The aforementioned Lisa Yegi, also born on September 29th, has been a member of our club. Oh, sorry. She's the Senior Human Resource Business Partner at Refresco Beverages. She's been a member of our club since 2001 and has been is a past president, is a Paul Harris Sustaining Fellow, has been assistant governor, has been past district, assistant governor for the district, past president, Paul Harris Fellow twice. Happy birthday, Lisa. And last, my birthday is also September 29th. So Sue, let's go have lunch or something. Born September 29th. I am now wow, I can't remember my title because I'm up here. I work for Science Friday and talk to Ira Flato every week, which is a lot of fun, actually. That job started 2 weeks ago. I am not yet, but will be signing up to be a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. Joined the club in March of 2023 and was brought to the club by Chris Anderson. Thank you, Chris. Kathy and Stacy, think of a number between 1 and 10. Oh, and Sue, you're online. Number between 1 and 10. Sue, you go first. Stacy says 7. Kathy? Sue going once? Going twice? Through channeling, Sue says 8. And the number 2. Kathy Birch wins the lunch. Thank you all. Oh, yeah. That's right. January is a cold month. So we are the September. What do you want to be, Stacy? With the September what's? Just sing happy birthday. Mums? Mums is good. We can be the September mums. So let's sing happy birthday to all the September birthdays. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mums. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
So I failed to notice that Irene Doby's had a committee announcement. You can do it from right. Yeah.
Hi. As chair of the membership committee, the board had passed the designation that we can now have for an organization membership. Now, what that means is one person can join and that person can have 3 associate members. So it was to offset the attendance issue that a lot of people have. So it's going to be a lower rate, and that the 3 associates won't be able to deal with any international issues that we work on, but they'll be able to do anything locally, that we're doing. So we're hoping that this will help amplify our membership. And, if you have any questions, let me know. It's a reduced cost for the associates, but it will help offset the pressure that people feel that Rotary has on attendance. So we're hoping that it does a lot of good for us. Any questions now? If not, let me know.
Thank you for taking the initiative on that, Irene. Now, Mr. Vince Horrigan, have you got some 50-50? $41. $41 to the winner. It's an orange one. 3203. All right. Joaquin, all right. Good job. No.
Thank you, Vince. Excellent, excellent. It's good to be back. Had to be away a little bit, and there is no statute of limitations, though. Amy put some money in the pot because she had to miss us. But speaking of no statute of limitations, Denise's representative, Chris, would like to recognize that we haven't seen Denise since this was in the paper. Number 28 of the area by Business First, area's 200 most powerful women is Denise. And don't go that far, because in the Battle of the Businesses, TRC Ladies Golf took 3rd this past week. Well, they played, they did play. The BPU, however, came in 1st in the men's. Yes, Becky, it did. So we want to recognize you for that, honest. And also, Becky, in Business First, was recognizing employers with the best healthiest employee program for healthy employees. And they did recognize you. Oh, Chris, they recognized the Resource Center too. Yeah, okay. And is anybody here from Northwest Bank? Joel is not, but okay. Yeah, today is the day. Now, and of course, no statute of limitations. Kirk, you were on WGRZ Channel 2 regarding Dietrich Park. Yes. Okay. Kirsten, you were pictured. Murray Marsh Outstanding Student Award, handing that out. And I seem to note that Tim is a new WCA Foundation board member. Whoa. Good going, Tim. Come on up front. You can. Oh, wow. Aha. Okay. That's so good. And Dan, you know, Andy's not here, but you were cutting the ribbon. Sukiana Berman Dance Studio in Jamestown. Okay, you, Andy, and Eddie. We're doing good here. By golly, by golly. 78. I'm getting close to that age. But somebody here, well, only a year away. Max, does that number ring a bell to you? 78? Might that be first flight championship at Moonbrook for the stroke play? Whoa. Good job, Max. He beat the first flight. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So those are this week's honorees. Greg, I'm so glad you're here because you know what season it is. Syracuse season. They won their first 2 games. It is football time, everyone. So, unfortunately, John Lloyd is not here for Penn State, but we have a Penn grad. The bucket will be, appreciate your donation. Mike Moose is not here. We have any other Notre Damers? Oh, great, great, great. Ithaca, Ohio, let's see. The good school. Oh, State, Ohio State. Hey, Mike, you're doing good. You're doing good. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Michigan did win this past weekend. I don't know if Dan Overcash is online, but Muhlenberg. Anyone here from Grove City or St. John Fisher? Come on, Becky. See you next week. Okay. Baldwin Wallace. And I think I've taken up enough of your time, and there might be a few happy bucks, however.
I'll be very quick. So this week, United Way kicks off our 2023 United Way fundraising campaign. We are kicking it off at Mike Roberts parking lot, Allied Alarm, also known as Meals on Wheels parking lot as well. And Rotary, right. So please come join us. This is where our goal this year is $1.4 million. That's the highest goal we have set in a really long time. And Rex and Mickey McCrae, who many of you know, are our campaign chairs. It truly does take a whole community to raise that much money. So I hope in some way you can all be involved. Certainly come because Mike and Rex are going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs. So
just since we haven't been in a few weeks, happy buck to thank everybody who came to our grand opening in partnership with the Gebby Foundation for the Chamber of Commerce office and Visitor Information Center. We had a great time. If you didn't make it, if you haven't stopped in, stop in and say hi and check it out. It's a very nice showcase for area attractions and right in the middle of downtown.
Any other happy bucks? Very good. Oh, Jennifer.
I'm happy to be here. I'll be a member, so thank you. And Greg, I hope you're not offended that I'm going to put your lucky $2 bill in the happy bucks can.
Just a quick $2. First, for finally being officially inducted into the club. And second, we closed the books on the summer season, and for just opening, it was a really, really good summer season. And we're looking host. We just had a full house on the weekend for a retreat. People, just so you know, a person come in, book the whole place for 2 days. And some of the guests came an extra day early and an extra day after. And when someone does that, we do a group rate. So just keep that in mind.
Here's a happy buck for my wife asked me to put it in. How many of you are familiar with the Mozart Club? She's a life member, but she wanted me to be sure that it doesn't mean she was a founding member. That was 1800 something. As a matter of fact, she's younger than I am. So the Mozart Club of Jamestown is presenting a benefit concert to benefit the Marvin House. And the performer will be renowned world famous pianist, Dr. William John Newbrough, who is the director of piano studies at Houghton University and a world renowned pianist. It's going to be an amazing concert, and the Marvin House is an important part of our community. The tickets are $20. By next week, I will be able to tell you how to get them. I'm not sure. I didn't bring them. However, it's going to be October 13th, so that would be an important date to keep in mind.
Thank you for reminding me of the Mozart Club. My mother was a founding member of that club. And the Marvin House, the baby grand piano that's there came from our living room.
Okay, and it's now my pleasure to ask Dan to come back up and introduce our speaker.
All right. Well, in order to give as much time as possible to Noel, I have a short introduction that encompasses a lot of years of experience. So being that we met this year again on September 11th, I thought about some different topics and speakers that were related to that day. Of course, a critically important group through September 11th and the days and weeks, and I'm sure still after, were the first responders. So Noel Guttman is the Director of Emergency Services and Fire Coordinator for Chautauqua County. Noel's been in that position for 3.5 years and has been with the Emergency Services Department for 10 years. Noel has 32 years of experience in the fire service, 30 of those years as an EMT paramedic, and also has 29 years in law enforcement. Noel.
Thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be here today, especially on 9/11. It's a day that 22 years ago, it made me understand what my grandparents went through when Pearl Harbor was hit. And it's probably the best way I've ever been able to rationalize it in my head. It's a very emotional day for many in the fire service and the first responders. So I'm very, very proud to be here just to talk a little bit about the fire service and how Chautauqua County operates. So currently in Chautauqua County, there's 42 fire departments, 2 of which are career, meaning fully paid staff, which is the city of Jamestown and Dunkirk. And the village of Fredonia is a combination department, meaning they have some paid staff and some volunteers. And then 39 other departments that are in the county that are 100% volunteer. Currently across New York State, about 90% of the fire service is volunteers, 100% volunteers. And that statistic carries across the rest of the country pretty much too. So volunteer firefighting is really the standard across the country. And, you know, one of the problems that we have, not only locally, but statewide and nationally, and I see Doug over there, and Doug's a long time, longer than I am in the fire service by far. And he knows some of these problems I'm going to talk about is the recruitment and retention of members to be firefighters, EMTs, fire police. You know, there's many different aspects of being in the fire service. And it's hard that the idea of volunteerism in the fire service just isn't there anymore. It really used to be a generational thing. There were fire departments in our county that up until in the 70s had waiting lists. They were so full you had to get on a list to be able to join a fire department. You know, today, you know, we're hoping for anybody to join it, and unfortunately, it's not as generational as it used to be. Just because my father, my grandfather, my brother, my uncle were in the fire service, that just doesn't cut it anymore. People just aren't joining as much as they used to. So when we get members, we really cherish getting them in and trying to keep them in. But that's also, you know, getting members in, getting people to take new EMT classes and further on and going become medics is even more difficult. Unfortunately, you know, the regulations have kept increasing as to what you have to do to maintain your certifications, just to be able to continue doing the job that we want to volunteer for. Luckily, the state has started to take some notice of that over the last couple of years, and so there are some incentives for you to join being, you know, in the fire service. One of which currently is they do have it's a $200 income tax credit. So if every member that's in the fire service does get that. Just this year, they passed a 10% property tax credit. So that is something that every taxing authority has to implement locally. Whether it's the city, town, village, school district, they would have to pass the legislation to authorize that credit for the people. And there's other some other bills in the Senate looking forward to try and pass some other incentives to keep people in, because, you know, it's becoming recognized that, you know, getting people to join is step one, and keeping them in there is step two. And one of the things that's very difficult about keeping people in is we ask them sometimes to do some very horrible things, and we all watch the news, and it's just unfortunate that we ask people to have to go and see some people in the worst times of their life, and that weighs heavily on people. And sometimes people realize they just can't do it. Luckily, the fire service has been part of a movement in all the first responder places, you know, even in the military and anyone really, that it's okay not to be okay. And you don't have to just tough it out and go back and deal with it on your own. There's a lot of help out there. So if you know of anyone that needs help in the fire service, you know, there are a lot of avenues that people are really looking to help other people. And that's one of the things that is helping our recruitment is to keep people involved. It's okay to go on a bad call and then have to talk about it, work through it otherwise. So that's something that we've gotten a lot better at as a fire service, of recognizing our own internal struggles of dealing with the very calls we have to go on. But currently in Chautauqua County, we run about 25,000 calls, all those 42 departments together. Predominantly, probably 80 to 85% of it is all EMS. You know, the ambulance calls are predominantly what we do. And the rest of it is everything from the fire alarms to the working structure fires, the car fires, the rescues. I will say, and I'm pretty proud of the position I have in emergency services. We have a lot of special teams that you know, I'm very heavily involved with, that have a lot to offer to the county. You know, we have a very well-staffed water rescue team. That's a combination team between the fire service and the sheriff's office. We have a technical rescue team that I'm very heavily involved with. You know, we do technical rescues, the rope rescue, building collapse, confined space, all the weird stuff kind of rescues. We have a very recognized and well-equipped hazmat team that is, you know, able to respond. You know, really, it's an accredited working towards accreditation, but it's a regional team partnership between Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Allegheny County, and the Seneca Nation of Indians. So it's a collaboration team that we can respond anywhere in there, and really anywhere in the state, or even in Pennsylvania as requested. The whole idea is helping people in whatever manner we can. So we do have a lot of very good assets within the county. One of the cool things that I've seen with the fire service is I joined when I was 18. I joined when I was still in high school. And for me, it led me down a path to being in law enforcement and staying a first responder and where I'm at today. But I've also seen it really create careers for other people. A lot of people joined the fire department because their buddy was in it. And next thing they know, they just found they really had a passion for it. And they went on to be career firefighters here in the city of Jamestown, city of Dunkirk, other places across the country. They became EMTs and found out, you know what, I really like the healthcare service. And they went on to become RNs. Currently, one of our county fly car medics is getting ready to enroll in med school next year because he really found that he has a passion for providing that for his first aid like that. His goal is to be an ER physician still working in the first responder field. So the fire service is more than just going to your firehouse. It really is a way that people can find themselves and define their life goals and their careers. But one thing that I handed out a flyer to you guys, look something like this. Something where our office just put out, everything now is app based, right? And there's an app for it. This is a community service app that our office funded, and we were able to use some federal grant funds to put this out. I would encourage you to take a look at it, download it. There's a lot of information on here that it's not just for first responders, that it's for residents as well. A couple really useful items on there, and you can kind of see it on the picture of there. It says power outages. Nobody here loves to have their power out. What's the first question? When's it coming back on? Who's it affecting? Both National Grid and NYSEG have online maps to that. This app has one push button basically to get to those, so you can see. And I can tell you the National Grid app, I've used a lot more. That's real time updated in about 5 minutes from the event. It's actually a feed right out of their headquarters of their emergency operations center. There's it has some traffic alerts, weather alerts. I know this morning I woke up to weather alert, talking about the fog that we were going to be having. So I would encourage you to take a look at that app, and there's a lot of good public safety information you can have for yourself and your family, your friends. And I'm going to keep building this app out to be, a lot more community involvement as we go forward. But the other thing I wanted to mention to you, and it's really become quite a little bit of a passionate project for me, is on the map, on the table, there's a map there. Who's heard about the great eclipse coming to us on April 8th? Okay. When this was first brought to me a few months ago, I'm like, okay, big deal. It's maybe 3.5 minutes of darkness. It's cool, whatever. As I learned more and more about this, and we talked in the first responder world and our emergency management world, the eclipse is going to be really cool. It's going to be a national and historic event, scientific event. Since 1776, there's only been 21 total solar eclipses in the continental United States. 86% of the time they happen over open water, so most people don't see them. The next total solar eclipse that Chautauqua County will see is approximately 120 years. I will not be here for the next one. The eclipse is not a threat. The eclipse is going to be a really cool event. Go out of your house when it's dark tonight, and that's what it's going to be like for about 3.5 minutes at 3:16 p.m. on April 8th. Why this is becoming a big emergency management issue and a planning issue is our estimations that I'm talking with our state representatives about is we're looking at anywhere from 50 to 250,000 estimated people in our county for that weekend. April 8th is a Monday. It's the first Monday after spring break. We are anticipating this being a 5-day event. Okay. Hotel rooms have been booked for 2 years. The other night, I went on one of the hotel websites, tried to book a hotel here in Jamestown. It was $1,100 a night. Okay. So the message that I'm trying to put out is this event is not a threat. But what is going to be a threat to our public safety? Obviously, we know if there's evil people out there, they're going to might look for ways to do bad things. This would be a great target. So we have some site safety concerns, but more for way of living concerns is in 2017, there was a national eclipse that went through, and I talk a lot about Nashville because they did a lot of, some great after action reports. What they found was stores went empty. Restaurants ran out of food. Gas stations ran out of gas. But they didn't properly plan to have those resources replenished and in sight. The message that I'm putting out, and we're going to continually put out through our office, through the county executive's office, is we know exactly when this is. We have planning and time on our side. Plan like it's a winter storm. Make sure that your fuel tanks are fueled up before you get the food that you need. You got your medicines. This is going to be a really neat event, but it's going to be, and New York State is calling it right now the largest mass travel day in history. One of our county dispatchers tells a story. He went to the one in 2017 and it took him 11 hours to go 10 miles after the event. So it is going to be a very busy day. Now, the flip side to this, some very good things about this, and I talked a little bit about at the end of this morning, is the places that have this, that properly planned for it and advertised for it, saw revenues just astronomical. You know, like I said, hotels are those $700, $800, $900 are selling out. You can't get them. You can still stay at Uncle Chuck's budgeted in the backwoods of somewhere, but if you want a decent hotel somewhere, the prices right now are really up there. But a lot of places, a lot of counties are looking at this as a very positive promotion. I joke about it in my presentation I give to the fire service. There was a brewery down in Nashville. They put out a special beer, Total Eclipse of the Tart, and had big celebrations for it. So our businesses in the county, I would, and I'll talk more with Dan about this. And if you have any insight to any businesses, business owners, this is going to be a once in a lifetime, once in a generational historic opportunity to promote our area, promote your business. And, everyone else is making bank, so everyone else should too. But, the eclipse, again, it's our county on the map you can see, and there's a map of the United States that shows an arc from basically the Gulf of Mexico. They'll be starting down there and working its way northeast. And then when it gets to New York, there are 29 counties in the path of totality. So all of Chautauqua County is encompassed, almost all of Cattaraugus County, all of Erie and Niagara County. Going to be a very historic, very interesting event. And I would encourage you, there's a ton of resources online. If you just Google, 2024 eclipse, there's some great eclipse generators and simulators. There's a lot of great information out there. And, the message, like I said, I'll be repeatedly putting this out, is we have the advantage of knowing when it is so we can plan for it. And we can take some of those emergency precautions. A lot of places are putting the adage to our visitors of come early and stay late. The after action reports have shown that 70 to 80% of the people that come for this event want to leave 15 minutes after it happened. If you're coming, leave Tuesday. Enjoy what Chautauqua County and any region you're going to has to offer. Don't just try to hit the road immediately, because that's what's going to cause the jam ups. I was reading a study in the last one in 2017 from Wyoming, had Interstate 80 had 56 miles of bumper to bumper traffic for 15 hours because everybody wanted to leave right now. So, like I said, this has become a little quite. I wish honestly I'd paid more attention to earth science in high school, be a little more on top of it. But I've dug down a lot of this rabbit hole information, and it's really become very interesting for us. And I'm having a lot of fun planning this event on the county side. And if I ask everybody, if you know of any sanctioned event, large party or whatever, just shoot me an email, shoot it to my office so I can put it in our planning, so we know there's going to be possibly a large gathering here, a large gathering there, so we can look at positioning resources, other staffing issues, and try and work with this. I've been working with our sheriff's office, try to do the same thing. You're looking at upstaffing and working with our office to make sure the emergency message is getting out there. I'll give this presentation to the fire service 3 times now and quite a bit more. So the word is out there. And like I said, and I repeat it, just we know when it's coming, plan for it, plan like it's a good winter storm, stay home and enjoy it. But because I have about an hour presentation I normally do on the eclipse, but that's really a high level overview. If you hadn't heard about it, it really is going to be something interesting. And it's definitely a once in a generational effect for us here. That's all I really had for you. But if you have any questions, I'm trying to be happy to answer for anything for you.
Thanks. I happen to know Corey very well. Corey Swanson, he's the president of Mart's Observatory. I'm on the board up there. And one of the look at the eclipse with your naked eye. You can see this. And we've already important. Don't even trust most well. Work of critical incident management. Do you do work with that team?
work out of our office. Unfortunately, they just had to be in service last week for a couple of very strenuous calls in our county. It's a group of diverse people that really work to help anybody. And I know our critical stress team is very well recognized for the fact that they went down and helped a department near Pittsburgh. So it's a team made up of fire service people, clergy people, medical health professionals. I believe Sheriff Quattrone's involved with it. So it's a very diverse team that is there to help the first responders. And that goes back to that it's okay to not be okay. And that team helps with that. And they help if you need one-on-one counseling or your whole department. They're very, very eager to help. Most fire departments are 18, no maximum. I know there's one gentleman in Kennedy, I believe he's pushing 90, and he's one of their most active people. Still, he does a lot of fire police. He's still out there, and you have to work to keep up with him. Yes, sir. 911. 911 is a universal. Two ways. 911, no matter where you are, is a universal number. So you call 911 in this county. Dispatch center, it's actually two dispatch centers now. It's one here just around the corner. They call it the bunker. And the other dispatch centers at the sheriff's office in Mayville. They are co-operated 24/7. When talking on the radio, I'll ask Doug. Doug, can you tell which dispatcher you're talking to? No, it's seamless. They really created a good system. When you call in, it doesn't matter where that person is. They can activate every fire department over our pager system, and simultaneously they're dispatching it through a system we call I Am Responding, which is an app-based, internet-based program that our fire service, honestly, at this point would fall apart without it. Works well because dispatch puts the call out. It also sends a text message along with it. And then all of us in the field, we can grab our phone and hit, I'm coming, or I'm going to the station, I'm going to the scene. So dispatch and the fire station and any fireman can look at their phone as well and say, okay, Celeron just got punched out for a call, and they got 7 people, 2 EMTs, and 3 chiefs going. Several departments still have sirens. Some have gotten away from it. Doug, you guys still have one in Maple Springs? Yep. Yes. That is in. Yes, that is what that siren goes off when they're getting a call. Yep. That indicates that, like Chautauqua Fire Department, their siren is set to go off at 6 o'clock at night as a 6 o'clock announcement. There are still a few communities that do that. Off the top of my head, I don't know which ones, but if you hear a siren at an odd time, that means they have a call. Thank you all.
For Rotary, our major international program is to eradicate polio in the world. And in honor and thanks of your presentation today, our club will make a donation in your name that will vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their lives. So thank you very much. So let's remember this year's Rotary International theme, Create Hope in the World. Thank you very much, and we are adjourned.